Yes. Good morning. A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone present here today. A very warm welcome to Old Passion Singapore, Malaysia Global. And my name is Jeannie Tan, your host today. Old Passion was formed in November 2020 and run by a group of dedicated host team members. We had our first trial webinar on the 23rd of September 2021, and our first public webinar was on the 30th of September 2021, under the mentorship of Dr. Bill Williams. We meet on every Thursday. The mission of Old Passion is to ignite passion for humanity, to nurture a mindset and leadership for passion and OBLES, and to form passion groups for good causes. And today, our speaker is none other than Dr. Tunishai Ford, our coach. And we would like to thank her for coming here every single month to coach. Yes, and before I pass on to Dr. T, I'd like to pass the next segment to Mabel. Mabel,
Yes.
over to you.
Thank you. We will do the intro video created by Kumaran from Malaysia.
This is just the beginning. I'm very happy how it came out. Nothing like we planned, but it was perfect.
We go to the top with the Philippines. We go to the top with the Netherlands.
Singapore.
We go Singapore.
Absolutely. We are in Singapore. We'll make a show of it. Yeah.
Bangladesh.
Yeah, indeed.
See you at the top.
See you at the top. Thank you, Dr. Bill. Appreciate you.
Shining bright Greetings to Singapore, Malaysia, and all of my other global brand ambassador family. Thank you all for joining me today on Thursday, April 10th at 9 o'clock p.m. Singapore time and 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My topic today is 7 self-care habits that will help you feel less stressed. I hope you will enjoy the message today. And again, thank you for joining me, and God bless.
Happy birthday to you, shining star, may your dreams come true. No matter how far, you light up the room with your radiant glow.
Okay. Thank you, Kumaran, for putting all this together. And happy birthday to Dr. Bill Williams, should he watch this. His birthday was yesterday, right? And as for today's speaker, we are so blessed again, month after month, to have Dr. Tunishai Ford to be coaching us with life skills and mindset to create a better legacy for us as we progress in life. Dr. Tunishai Ford is the founder and CEO of Your Own Uniqueness Inc. It's a self-improvement organization. Dr. T, as people love fondly call her, Dr. T, is an international transformational speaker, life coach, empowerment trainer, teacher of life skills. She is also the host of a former talk TV show called Dr. Tunishai Ford Show. And she has a online international magazine called Discovering You Magazine. Everyone is welcome to sign up, register for a copy. It's free, and the link will be posted somewhere in the chat for us to just sign in. And she, just let me, just a minute to share screen again. Dr. T has written 4 books, and it is titled I Miss the Hugs, Hugs, Not the Hurts. And then another book, Taking Control of Your Life from the Inside Out, The Spirit Within You. And this book, This is a Comma in Your Life, Not a Period. So these are the 4 books that you can purchase from this website, drtford.com. It's all stated here. So these are her 4 books, which you're encouraged to get them sometime on the website. Let me come back to you. Dr. T today will be speaking to us as she introduced just now, 7 self-care habits that will help us feel less stress, especially at a time such as now. So Dr. T, thank you so much again. Thank you for being our coach, and the platform is all yours tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I always enjoy, as I always tell you, being on this platform. I feel like you are such a close-knit family, and I thank you all for welcoming me to be a part of your family. It's such a pleasure. Thank you. And as you said, my topic today is very important because, as you made the statement earlier, Mabel, it's right now we're living in a time when people are just so unsure. about so many things, and especially our finances. And it's one of the areas that I believe that people can become so stressed out the most. If I were to ask you, name the top 3 areas that we become anxious about, that we're more stressed out about, you would probably say finances, our health, and relationships. And it's a correlation between the 3. If you don't, oftentimes, if you are financially stressed, it is going to affect the other 2. It's going to affect your health, and it's definitely going to affect relationships, especially in a marriage. I know, and I'm pretty sure you all have heard horror stories of people getting divorced who love each other, adore each other, but because of financial stress and strain, they cannot make it. And so we want to talk about today what we can do, what habits we can incorporate into our lives so we can have a sense of control and peace in our lives. So again, my title of this topic is 7 Financial Self-Care Habits. Self-care habits that will make us feel less stressed. Financial stress can take a significant toll on our lives, our overall being. But adopting smart money habits can bring a sense of control. There's that word again, a sense of control and peace into our lives. And that's our goal today. We want to make sure we have a sense of control and peace in our lives concerning our finances. Now, just like physical or mental self-care, financial self-care is about making intentional. Make sure you keep that word in your mind, intentional choices that support your long-term security and reduce day-to-day anxiety. So we're going to look at seven financial self-care habits that will make you feel more confident and less stressed out about life, and no matter where you are in your current financial situation. So let's get started. Number one, if you're taking notes, number 1, budgeting is the key factor, the number 1 factor, budgeting. Budgeting is the cornerstone of financial self-care, if you didn't know that. It may not be the most glamorous thing you can do. It may not be exciting trying to manage your money, but it's undoubtedly one of the most crucial things that we need to do concerning our finances. Think of budgeting as your financial roadmap. It guides your spending, savings, and investment decisions, helping you avoid financial stress down the line. It doesn't have to be complex or even time-consuming. In fact, the simpler it is, the more likely you are to stick with it. And I know a lot of you may already practice budgeting, and that's great. Keep that up. You're on the right track. You want to start by tracking your income and expenses, and you want to identify where your money is going, and you want to see if there are any areas where you might be able to cut back. A lot of times we have things on our plate concerning our finances that we don't need to have. You want to see if you can kind of like switch things around. Like I know a lot of times we have subscriptions, TV subscriptions, like, different type of networks. Like for us, I don't know if it's all over the world, but I know like Hulu, Paramount, Amazon Prime. These are paid subscriptions. And people like to watch TV in their spare time and their downtime. But a lot of these things are paid. Sometimes you may have apps on your phone that you have to pay for. Okay, that's money that you may not even need to be spending. So that's the reason why you want a budget, because you want to keep track of what is actually going in, what's going out, and you want to be able to dismiss and get rid of the areas that you don't need to have a part of your budget. And that will allow you to have room for fun and other indulgences, but making sure that when at the end of the day, I always tell people, I've always said this on Deep Dive, it's not about how much money you bring in, it's not about how much money you earn, it's about how much money you have left over. What do you have left over after you've paid all of your bills, after you've made your investments, and after you've done your savings? What do you have left over? So many people live from check to check. You already know that. They get paid on a Monday or a Friday, and by the time Monday comes, they're broke. That's a very sad state of affairs. And those are people who I know they are extremely stressed out. Okay, so budgeting is not a restricting, it's not meant to restrict you. Okay, it's about taking control of them. And this is the number one area of self-care when it comes down to financial. So again, we're talking about 7 habits for financial self-care. So the very first one is budgeting. You want to make sure that you have a budget that you can keep up with and that is realistic for you. Number one. Number two, now this is something I want to challenge you. Now, I don't know what's going on in all of your lives, but I want to challenge you. All of us, including Tunishai Ford, all of us should have an emergency fund. We should all establish an emergency fund. An emergency fund is like a financial safety net. It's a cushion. It's money set aside specifically for unforeseen expenses. Okay, like for example, sudden medical bills, car repairs, or even the loss of a job, God forbid. Having an emergency fund means that when life throws you a curveball, and it will throw you a curveball, and I'm pretty sure many of us can contest to that, okay, you'll be prepared. When you have an emergency fund, you will be prepared. You will be prepared. It gives you that peace of mind knowing that you can handle financial surprises without going into your savings account or interfering with your budget. That is so important. Let me say that again. It gives you a peace of mind knowing that you can handle financial surprises without going into your budget or dipping into your savings account. Your savings account is separate than an emergency fund. Okay, your savings account is that account that's going to be growing. You don't touch that. But your emergency fund is set aside for when you have those unexpected events that happen in your life. You want to make sure that you have money. You want to make sure that you have money for at least 4 to 6 months of expenses, if that's feasible. So that means if you haven't started, it's time for you to start now. For those of us who have not started an emergency fund, we need to start right now, putting money aside for such an emergency. And you want to talk about what if? What if you get laid off from your job? The way the economy is right now, even all over the world, what if you get laid off your job? What if you have to quit your job because maybe you have become ill unexpectedly? Or maybe somebody, a loved one in your family, becomes ill and you become the primary caregiver. God forbid. What if those things happen to us? It happens all of the time. So there's so many times we have elderly parents, grandparents, and sometimes you're the one who's always elected to be the one to take care of those individuals. And oftentimes you may find yourself having to quit your job or taking less hours for your job. That happens. What does that happen? That happens that now you have less money to work with. And if you had an emergency fund, that would have taken care of that. A couple of weeks ago, Dr. John talked about different types of insurances. I want to just encourage you all. This is all part of your emergency fund, having different types of insurances. For example, disability insurance. If you have a 9-to-5 job, if you're working, or if you have your own business, purchase disability insurance. This insurance kicks in if for some you become ill and you can no longer work your job full time. You can file a claim, and that particular fund will actually kick in and be able to take care of your expenses depending on what you choose. You can choose different terms. You can pay different premiums. Some people may get $2,000 or $3,000 or even $5,000, depending on how big you want it to be, depending on what your job pays you. That's how you choose. But if you have not gotten disability insurance, I don't know where people are all over the world, if they have that kind of insurance, but I know in the United States, disability insurance is available. Oftentimes people get it through their jobs, or you can buy it independently. So I want to encourage you to do that. They even have insurances if when you buy a car here in America, before you sign on the dotted line, before you drive that vehicle off the lot, they have an option. If anything happens where you cannot pay this bill, like illness, especially illness, you have that kind of insurance that would kick in and it would pay your monthly car note. I had that when I was sick with cancer. You all know I'm a cancer survivor. It's just so luckily I had that kind of insurance. And when I became ill, I filed a claim and I was not responsible for that car note. And I thank God that I did that. And another thing, homeowners insurance and rentals insurance. Again, we're talking about an emergency fund. These are all avenues that can be used in case some unforeseen event happens in your life, especially when it comes down to your health, your home. There might be a fire. There may be a flood. Maybe the electricity, something went wrong with the electricity that may cause you to have something havoc to happen in your home. If you have homeowners insurance or even rentals insurance, and even if you're renting, it's very important, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that you have rentals insurance that will take care of your property on the inside of your unit. Those are all things that are very, very important. So again, we're talking about establishing an emergency fund, and having these insurances will also be a part of that. It may not be something where you put aside in a fund per se or an account, but it's an insurance that will make sure that when you need it, it will be able to kick in and you'll be able to have funding to take care of such emergencies. So number two, you want to make sure that you establish an emergency fund. And remember, we're talking about those 7 habits, 7 financial habits of self-care. So this number 2 is establish an emergency fund. Number 3, if you're taking notes, prioritize paying off debt. That is so important. Prioritize. Let's pay off our debts, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pay off our debts. Prioritize paying off your debts. Debt can be a significant source of stress. We already know that, especially when it feels like it's hanging over your head. Think about this. It's a crucial step towards financial freedom when you pay off your debts. Did you know the average American carries around $38,000 or more in personal debt? And I'm not talking about paying a mortgage. I'm talking about your loans. I'm talking about other loans, personal loans, and credit card debt. And that is truly a hefty load to bear. Paying off your debt does not it helps you free up income for when you put it into your savings and spending. It also increases your credit score, which is very, very important. Don't undermine the importance of having a good credit score, because the credit score denotes integrity. That means that you're a person that a lender can trust. You're somebody that I can look at and know. When I see your credit score, I may not be looking at your face per se. I may not know what's going on in your life personally, but if I can look at your credit score, it's 700 or up, or maybe starting from the high sixes or up, that's letting me know as a person who's going to give you credit that you're someone that's trustworthy. So when you're paying off your debts, you want to make sure that you handle those things, and you want to make sure that concentrating on having a good credit score is part of your goal. Make it a habit to chip away at your debts regularly, whether it's a student loan, again, a credit card, or personal loan. Every dollar you put towards your debt brings you closer to a stress-free financial health. And when I talked about this, I talked about getting out of debt, prioritizing debt with deep dive, and I gave them a formula. It was the 50-30-20 formula that we talked about. That means taking 50% of your income will go towards paying your bills, your day-to-day, your month-to-month expenses. 30% will be going towards, maybe things that you might would do for recreation, maybe you're going out, traveling, whatever that might be. And then 20% will be going towards investing. And you can switch that around, but you want to make sure that the largest ratio, the largest one, goes toward paying off your expenses and actually concentrating on prioritizing paying off your debts. So again, we're talking about habits. We're talking about financial freedom. We're talking about being stress-free concerning your finances. So number 3 is prioritizing paying off your debts. Number 4, regular financial check-ins. Yes, you heard me. Regular financial check-ins. Just like you schedule regular checkups for your physical health, it's important to have regular check-ins for your financial health too. This could be weekly, monthly, or even quarterly, depending on what works for you. The ideal is to regularly review your finances to gauge where you stand. During these check-ins, take a look at your spending, your savings, and investment accounts. You want to make sure, you want to ask yourself, are you on track with your financial goals? Are you on track? Are there any adjustments needed in your budget? Or are there any upcoming expenses that you need to plan for? That's the reason why you do a check-in. Because sometimes from month to month, maybe 4 to 6 months down the line, things may have changed. That's why it's so important to actually look at your finance. That's why it's so important to go back and look at your budget. Maybe your budget is going to change in the next 6 months. You want to be prepared for that. There might be another bill that you're going to add onto your budget. You want to be prepared for that. That's why it's so important. Do a regular financial check-in. Okay, they help you catch up any potential. They help you catch any potential bigger problems that may be coming your way, and it gives you a sense of control over your finances. Remember, the key thing right now is that you want to be in control of your financial situation. So number 4, if you're taking notes, number 4, regular financial check-ins. Regular financial check-ins. Number 5, and this is something that I hope that you all are doing right now, saving for retirement. Saving for retirement. I've often said this. You may have heard me say this on this platform. I wish I knew back then, when I was a much younger woman, what I know now. Not that I know a whole lot now, but I know far more now than I knew back then. When you're young, in your 20s, maybe in your 30s, maybe even going into your early 40s, you may not be thinking about growing old. You're in the moment. You're in real time at the time. You're not thinking about one day retiring. You're living your life. You know what I'm saying? You're thriving. You're living your dreams, whatever that might be. And you don't think about one day I'm going to retire. One day I'm going to get old. But that day is going to come if you keep living. So starting early makes a huge difference, even if it's just a little bit. I want to just encourage you all, if you have children, grown children, or your grown grandchildren, start encouraging them now to think about planning for their retirement. And it's not about a rainy day. You could be planning for a sunny day, being able to travel. I know so many retirees who travel. They're snowbirds during the Michigan, so it's always cold in the wintertime. They're snowbirds. They go to a different warm climate. If they didn't plan for this when they were younger, they would not have had the money to travel. So it's not just for a rainy day. It's to be able to thrive. It's so that your lifestyle won't change when you get older. You still want to enjoy life. You want to be able to enjoy each other if you're married. You want to be able to enjoy your singleness if you're single. Travel, live the same lifestyle. You don't want things to change. That's why it's so important for you to plan for retirement. Okay, and knowing that you're building a nest egg for your future can bring you that peace of mind. Start off with getting annuities, mutual funds, high yield savings accounts. If you have a 401k, try not to cash it. Keep that 401k. Buy stocks, bonds. And I'm going to say something else that might just throw you off your rocker, but cryptocurrency. Start investing in cryptocurrency. That is a thing that's going to be on the rise. Cryptocurrency, pretty soon, ladies and gentlemen, is going to start replacing the dollar or the paper currency all over the world. People are turning to cryptocurrency. So think about investing in that. Learn all you can learn about that. It will be a good way to go, because I promise you, it is going to be a way of transferring wealth. So look into those things. Again, annuities, mutual funds, high yield savings accounts, stocks, bonds, and cryptocurrency, and other things that you might want to invest in. Okay, don't stop there. Other things you might want to invest in. Be creative. Okay, it's comforting to know, it's very, very comforting to know that you are taking the steps to secure your future. Even if retirement seems very far away for some of you. I'm looking at you right now. I think all of you might be in that place where you are in retirement age right now, or going there. So it's not that far off. So if you haven't started planning for that, make sure you start. And if you have started, continue. Don't stop. Don't take anything away. Don't close any accounts. Keep it going. I don't care what the economy is doing. I don't care what Trump is doing. Keep it where it is. I promise you, it's going to get better. All right. It's not going to stay here. Don't be intimidated by what Trump is doing, okay? It's going to be all right. I promise you. Don't close out any accounts. Don't do it. Don't cash in your 401k. Don't mess with your mutual funds. Don't go into your high yield savings account. Leave them alone. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. I promise you. Okay. So number 5, you want to make sure that you're saving for retirement. You want to make sure that you're saving for your future. Again, we're talking about what? Financial freedom. We're talking about not having stress on our plates when it comes down to our finances. And if you apply the first 5 that I've shared with you, you'll be well on your way. So number 5, saving for retirement. Number 6. Now this deals with dealing with your emotions. Number 6, understanding your financial anxiety. Wow, Dr. T, what does that mean? Understanding your financial anxiety. All of us, at some time or another in our lives, when it comes down to our finances, we may not realize it, but we have triggers, things that really stress us out when it comes down to different areas in our finances. Okay, everyone has different triggers when it comes down to financial stress. What makes one person anxious might not make another person anxious. It's important to identify what aspect of money management causes you stress. What causes you stress? I'm the kind of person, if I may be transparent, for me, when I get my earnings, when I get my money every month, I want to make sure that I have a certain amount in my bank account, as I mentioned earlier about budgeting, when I've paid all of my bills. If I don't have a certain amount, that I begin to feel anxious. I know that about me. Now you may say, Dr. T, you shouldn't feel, but I do. That's me. Those are my triggers because you don't know. I don't want to have to tap into my savings. I don't want to go into an emergency account if I don't have to, but I want to make sure that's another cushion. When I finish paying all of my bills, even in my checking account, I still want to see money there. I don't want to look at my savings. I don't want to look at my investment. I don't want to look at the emergency fund if it's not an emergency. I want to make sure that after I've paid my bills, again, what's your goal? To make sure there's money left over. That's my trigger. So when there's not money left over, then I'm anxious. Some of you may feel differently about that. Maybe it doesn't bother you to live from check to check. Maybe it's a thrill ride for you to live like that, but not for me. So you need to be able to identify what causes you stress when it comes down to financial management. Once you recognize your financial anxiety triggers, you can start addressing them. That might mean, getting a financial advisor. You're educating yourself about personal finances, or even talking to a therapist if it's that bad, or getting a financial coach. These are things you might want to do. If you're really anxious about money and you find yourself being stressed out, you might want to seek out professional help. That might even mean reading a book, looking at different podcasts, whatever it works for you. But you want to make sure that you're addressing it. Acknowledging and understanding your financial anxiety is a key step in reducing stress and improving your relationship with money. It's all about taking care of your financial health. Remember, we're talking about our financial health. So again, number 6, understand your financial anxiety. And when you begin to understand your financial anxiety, all the other 5 that I just mentioned will come into play. It'll make sense because you'll know how important it is to budget. You'll know how important it is to have an emergency fund. You'll understand how important it is to make sure that you're investing into your retirement. Because again, you don't want to feel anxious. You don't want to feel overwhelmed when it comes down to your financial situation. That's number 6, understanding your financial anxiety. And number 7, last but not least, practicing gratitude. Yes, I said it. Practicing gratitude. The most powerful financial self-care habit is practicing gratitude. Let me repeat that. The most powerful financial self-care habit is practicing gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. Think about it. Think about that for a moment. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, think about what you have. I'm pretty sure everyone on this webinar, everyone probably has a roof over their heads, I hope. I hope that everybody has lights and gas, running water, food in your refrigerator. It may not be the kind of food you want to eat, but you have food. You have your health and strength. You know, you're not living on the street. And there are people, and the reason why I'm saying all this, because there are people in the United States and all over the world who are living, who don't have these necessary things that we're talking about right now. They don't have the basic necessities. They don't even have finances. So if you consider to yourself right now, all the things that Dr. T just mentioned, I have those things. You have a reason to be grateful. It's about acknowledging the value in what you already possess, rather than constantly chasing more. Just start where you are. Every morning, when I wake up in the morning and I have my morning prayer time, I look around my home and I thank God that my electricity is on. I do. I thank God for that, because there's people, again, who don't have electricity. I know someone right now in Nigeria who doesn't have, her generator is going out. That affects the electricity. That affects her cooking. The generator is getting ready to go out. We take that stuff for granted. I thank God that I have hot water. When I get ready to take my shower, hot water comes out. I thank God that the heat, right now it's still cold in Michigan, where I am. The heat comes on. I thank God for that. I thank God that I have all of my appliances still work. I'm thankful for that. The things that we take for granted, stop taking them for granted. Because so many people don't have these things. The things that we call basic, they would call it a luxury. So you want to start being thankful. If you truly want to take a hold and have one of the most important self-care financial habits, is to get up with an attitude of gratitude. It's about being thankful for your ability to provide for your loved ones and have the opportunities, okay, to have income. Let's say the emergency does come up. Let's say that the emergency does come up. Maybe somebody does get sick. Maybe you do have a fender bender. Whatever may happen in your life, remember, just be thankful that you have the money to pay for it. Nobody wants to pay for emergencies. Nobody wants to be bothered with all that. But what about the person who may have a fender bender and they can't even afford to pay the deductible? But you have the money to pay the deductible. That's something to be grateful for. Practicing gratitude can significantly reduce financial stress and promote a healthier and more positive relationship with money. So practicing gratitude, again, the most important financial self-care habit is practicing gratitude. And when you begin to practice gratitude, when it comes down to your financial self-care, then that means that you understand that money does not control you. You control your money. I've always said to you all that money is a living entity. You don't want to be bogged down with financial stress, because when you have financial stress, it's going to impact every area of your life. There are people who get cancer, all kinds of insidious diseases, because they're stressed out. And you know, we are a three-part being: your body, your soul, and your spirit, and your physical. And when everything is not on one accord, everything is helter-skelter, that means something's going to be impacted. One is going to impact the other. That's why I want to encourage you all, when you practice these self-care habits, budgeting, establishing an emergency fund, prioritizing paying off your debts, regular financial check-ins, saving for your retirement, understanding your financial anxiety, and last but not least, practicing gratitude, I believe that you'll be well on your way to financial self-care, and you'll have a less stress-free life. Put these things into practice, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take it for granted. If you haven't started, start. It's never too late to start practicing these things. And you may say, well, Dr. T, I practice these things, but my thing, I will encourage you to continue to do it. Don't start. Don't stop. Don't allow what's going on in the world to interfere with your plan, because I promise you, it's not going to be as bad as you think, okay? Don't allow what President Trump is doing. I know it's impacting everybody all over the world. but don't allow this. It's not a forever thing. It's temporary. All right, it's temporary. But continue on your course. Don't give up. Don't leave. Don't, as Mabel would say, don't give up faith. Don't give up faith. Keep your eyes on God and remember that He has a plan. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, to prosper you and not to harm you, and to give you an expected end. Know that in the end, you will win. Begin to start practicing the 7 financial care habits, and you'll be well on your way to financial freedom. I'm Dr. T, and thank you so much for allowing me to share. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, Dr. T, you know, we can't let you go. You have to come every month because you are really grounding us and establishing us, for life, to face life, be it young or old, just a minute, be it young or old. Everyone needs to hear this, really. Did I share screen? Yeah, everyone needs to hear this. And how we can make this recording for everyone because it's so beneficial. Let me continue to digest and let our brother John Barilla to share, to comment. Thank
Yes,
you.
I am. Yes. I just want to, I have one thing to say, really. I'm an older gentleman, maybe the oldest person here, maybe not, but maybe close anyway. I would just like to say to all of you who mostly are younger than I, and in a place in your life where listen to what Dr. T just said. There's so many things of these 7 points. If you take care of it now, if you listen, take the advice, do the things you would need to do or can do, you should try and do that, because whatever she just said, and her last minute there, really just it summed it right up. So again, you might have to go back and listen to this again, because it's going to be available as we have our recording, because all this that she said was so important. And for younger folks, it's not, get going, start thinking this way, and you'll end up in a good place when you're up at my age, with your financial and your health, your stress, health. If you do these things, or if you can do these things, make the effort. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you, John. Tony, would you like to unmute? Thank you, Tony.
Hey, thank you. As always, excellent presentation. And I know a few things that I had been considering doing a budget, doing another budget, and being a little more faithful to it. And I thought the understanding financial anxiety, was really great too, because I thought about, the stuff that makes me anxious and, disappointed and all that other stuff. And so I'll tell you, there's a lot of valuable information that you always give us. And,
Yes.
I truly appreciate it, and bringing things to sight that we had no idea of, and taking us to another level in finances and the way that we do things, in our lives. And so I appreciate you, Dr. T, and I always look forward to the greater mindset that you lead us into. So thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Something to say? Yeah. Melanie, Pius, anyone wants to share how this message is convicting us,
Yes.
speaking to us so deeply? Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dr. T, for the insightful information you gave on financial self-care. It's very important, and that these are lessons that we probably should have in practice, but sometimes too, with economy how it is and with everything, it's kind of difficult to really do a budget. And although sometimes you do it, but you go right back into that savings. And they're saying you have to have more than one resources or jobs, but sometimes it's kind of difficult. But what you said, all the pointers you gave, the 7, the self-care, it is a good thing because it opens up your eyes to seeing how, you're getting older, not old, but older. The age is growing up, and sometimes you're looking at the bank or you're looking at your what you have had before, and then it's gone. And like Annette, I think her name is Annette or Antoinette, she said
Antoinette.
that you feel a bit disappointed, and yeah, sometimes I get that in that moment because I'm thinking at this age, at that time in my life, I should have more. So the pointers that you gave, the habits, I am putting it into practice little as I can. Little as I can. I'm starting over. It's almost like you had it, it was taken, it was gone, or you're careless sometimes in spending. As Dr. T said, when you're younger, you have had it, and then you don't think of the future. You think of the moment you live in and you just spend. And then later on, when things like the economy, how it is now, it's plummeting, you're thinking, oh, I wish I had what I had before. But we can always start over. Dr. T, thank you very much. These are good insights and good self-care practices for financial. Thank you. I'm starting to put them into practice as much as I can. It's kind of tough now, honestly, with everything going on, but it's a good thing. Thank you.
Dr. T.
Thank you, Mabel
Dr.
and
T.
team.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me just say this, Melanie and Tony. When I bring these messages, and I'm not saying that you all feel this way, but I just want to reiterate this. It's not to bring condemnation. It's not a rebuke. It's just a learning tool, because I'm not trying to imply that you all should have arrived, you all should be there by now. No. It's all we're doing is putting things in the forefront, and we're saying this is where we want to be. Everybody has unique situations. I know that. Dr. T is not a wealthy person. I'm not. I might be in a different situation, maybe even in a better situation. And I'm not being braggadocious. I say it with humility. But it's only because I know that I have made life choices that have gotten me to a certain place. Because remember, if you had known me 20, 30 years ago, I was the one that had those junker cars and going to what they call back alley mechanics. And I didn't have, people would give me their hand-me-down cars, and I was putting more money in a used car than I was. I figured out one day, go out there and get you a new car. It's cheaper. It's cheaper. All the money that you put in a used car, you could have been driving a new car. And ever since I started doing that, I've been going upward. I don't buy used cars anymore. I don't touch them. Okay. Some of you like to, you're very, very, you're very frugal, and you don't believe in buying anything brand new and whatever that may be. But it comes with different benefits. That's just one example. I don't want to harp on that. But the point that I'm trying to make is this. These messages are not to make you feel bad. All it is to say, listen, like you said, insight. That's the key word. It gives you insight. Because right now, most of us on this platform are probably 40 years or up. I'm pretty sure there are probably very few people in here that are in their 30s on this platform. Most of you are probably 45 and up. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I'm not trying to insult anybody. Okay, but we have grandchildren, we have children who are in that age bracket. let's try to encourage them
Mm.
to start making better choices, because they take so much for granted. They take so much for granted. You know, why is it just 1% of the population, you know, the wealthy? Why is that? We, you know, God gives us all the ability. The word of God says he gives us the ability to get wealth. All of us. He didn't say just the 1%. The rest of you, well, no. All of us have the ability to be wealthy. But it's about taking the tools that he's given us. It's about having the proper mindset. Do you have a scarcity mindset or do you have a growth mindset? I talked about that. You know, it needs to be a paradigm shift. Who do you hang out with? Are you hanging out with the eagles or are you hanging out with the pigeons? And those are things you need to think about. You know, it's all about even those people who I don't have a lot of money right now. Well, maybe it's time for you to think about getting some passive income. I know that right now, and I'm not going to make a deal. I don't know about all that, but there's a lot of things that a lot of ONPASSIVians are doing to bring in extra income. You know, think about that. Think about cryptocurrency. I talked about that. That's something I'm investing in. And I promise you, that is going to be something that's going to really be a great transference of wealth. I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you the truth. That's going to be a great transference of wealth. If you don't understand cryptocurrency, look into it. Look into it. XRP, that's just an advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm letting you know, if I'm saying this onto you, an open platform, take my advice on this. It's going to be a tremendous transference of wealth. Just start getting in on it. Wherever you can get in. That's what I'm saying. But the most important thing is that think about passive income. Think about if you have to go out there and get a part-time job, whatever you need to do, because right now you may be at a place where your budget may be kind of slim. You don't have a lot of money right now to work with. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? That means you need to do something about that, because all of us are entitled to live a good life. He said, I've come to give you a life and that more abundantly. That's for all of us who believe God, all of us who are his children, all of us who say we serve him. Nobody should be in debt. Nobody should be in lack. That's not your portion. Your portion is health and wealth, abundance. That's the portion. That's how we should be living. But we understand that we are not there, but it's okay. Let's start. How do you start? 1 foot at a time, 1 step at a time. That's how you start. Just start doing. Set it off. Stop just thinking about it. Let's push off and make something happen. These are all action words. Make something happen. It's not just about me giving you these nuggets month after month. It's about I partake. When I give these messages, I'm going, ouch. I'm going, whoa. I need to work on that. So I'm just the messenger, but I'm also the receiver. So I'm where you are. So I just want you all to know that it's not about condemning anybody. It's not a rebuke. It's insight. It's letting us know that these things are feasible. And let's start where we start. And again, we don't know what we don't know. Oftentimes we don't know these things. I didn't know these things when I was a younger woman. I shared with you all before. My mother only taught me how to save. She never taught me how to invest. I wasn't around people that were investing. Okay, so I didn't know that. I was not in that environment. But now I'm in that environment, and now I know better, and now I'm doing something about it. And we all, no matter where you are in life, no matter where you are right now in your financial situation, we all can start somewhere. So be encouraged. Be encouraged. All is well. All is well.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. T. Perry. Janine, with the crypto, yes, it's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I have studied something too, and I've started seeing little ways. It's not big as yet, but I'm seeing a way. I've always been trying, hustling as much as I can, and one day, yeah, it's gonna come. I believe
Just
in
hold
that.
on to it,
Thank you.
Melanie. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it. While it's low, buy it. Don't worry about it.
thank
Don't
you.
just let it go. Just but while it's pennies, invest in it. That's how you invest in crypto when they're pennies, when you can afford it. And then when it blows up, you're gonna have all that crypto sitting there. You're gonna be in the hundreds of thousands and millions. You can become a
Thank you.
millionaire overnight, literally. So hold on to it. Don't sell it. Hold it. This is the time to buy it when it's low and hold it. Don't do anything. Hold it. Hold it.
Thank you.
And that's my little 2 cents.
You know, Dr. T, as I go through the 7 points, each one is so important. Each one of them. I can't even begin to want to highlight which one because each one is so important. And, you know, you're so right that you are actually not causing any anxiety or did you use the word condemnation, is it? No. Yeah.
Right.
It's actually, you know, my pastor used to say that I cannot preach to you at the level of my achievement because all of us are not there. So he has to lift it up to that high level so that everyone know that there is something to move forward and grow forward. So give us what is the right formula. So all the 7 habits, you know, all of us who hear it will have different conviction on any particular points, you know. For me, every point convicts me. So it's really so beautiful. So that's why I say we got to hold on to you because this you are more than just these 7 habits. You are more than this financial anxiety that you want to relieve us. So there's so much in you, and as I said, you are really establishing us, be it we are 17, 18, 21, or 70. And who is this, John? John, you are 74 or something like that. You know, so
76.
76. Okay, 76. And I just passed my 70. And Dr. T, I'm still learning from you. Still learning from you. And I find that we must never stop growing, never stop learning, never stop being enlightened, because sometimes at different seasons of our life, we have blind spots. What was not blind to us a year ago probably has become our blind spot. So we really need to wake up sometime. And it's so precious to have Dr. T to coach us in life, giving us that nuggets, as she says it, the tools and the skills and the proper mindsets. You are really, God be glorified. You are really giving us a wholesome guideline to move forward in life, especially if what ONPASSIVE is giving us. We really need to be balanced, to use that finances, to use the wealth that God is giving us to better us and not destroy us. And these are all the points that's going to keep us wholesome. Anyone else want to share? If not, I would like Dr. T to summarize, and mainly because I want to keep it within the short time so that when people see this an hour thing, they will want to click and play it, So I think open up another minute for anyone who wants to share. Really, anyone want to chip in their conviction, how this has touched them? If not, Dr. T, help us close tonight. Thank you
Thank you.
for
Thank you so much.
empowering us.
One of the most profound revelations about financial self-care is not about, just numbers and transactions. That's not what it's all about. It's about your relationship with money and how financial stress can take a toll on your health, relationships, and your quality of life. That's the first thing I shared with you all when I opened it up. By implementing these 7 habits: budgeting, establishing an emergency fund, paying off your debts, regular financial check-ins, saving for retirement, understanding your financial anxiety, and practicing gratitude, you can cultivate a healthier relationship with money. These practices won't make you rich overnight or eliminate financial challenges. It's not going to do that. But they will equip you with the tools and mindset to handle those challenges more effectively. Financial self-care is a journey. It's not a destination. It's about making small but consistent improvements over time. Thank you.
Wow. Even the summary is so beautiful. Thank you, Dr. T. Thank you, everyone here. And when we share the link again, please play it, because each time you hear it, more conviction will come, more empowerment will enter your spirit, soul, and body. So thank you, Dr. T. Thank you, everyone. Good night. See you next week.
Yeah. Good night,
Good night,
Yes.
everybody.
everyone.
Good time will come, and good time
Bye.
is round the corner.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yes.
Good night.
See you all at 12 o'clock
Yeah.
Good
with
night.
Ash Pufara.
And
Good
go
I
to
to
love
our
us.
ONPASSIVE,
website.
my love ONPASSIVE. I love STO.
Yeah.
Today night and big
Good
good
night.
news.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Our life change
Night,
See
and
you.
Bilal.
cheers.